Welcome. We begin in Gaza, where Israel has been launching heavy attacks across the Strip. The Israeli army claims it's responding to Hamas rockets fired at Tel Aviv on Tuesday. These latest strikes have killed dozens of Palestinians, and that's pushed the death toll from Israel's war to nearly 40,000 people. The latest attacks in the southern city of Khan Younis have killed at least 24 people, and more bodies are believed to be buried under the rubble. Many of the dead are children. Israel has also been launching strikes on refugee camps in central Gaza. One in Nuseirat killed the entire family, and the youngest victim was a 2-year-old child. And UNRWA says Israel's relentless bombardment has now forced 625,000 children to miss an entire year of school. 80% of the school buildings they once learned in are now destroyed. Tareq Azzoum is live for us in Deir, el-Balah with the very latest. Tareq, just talk us through what we know about these latest attacks on refugee camps.
Well, more airstrikes, in fact, Suhail, had really showered and hammered the entire central area of this Strip, in particular refugee camps, including Nuseirat and al-Maghazi. We have been mentioning earlier that at least 7 Palestinians have been reported killed from the same family that has been completely wiped out from the civil registry. They were displaced from the north of the Strip, ending up right now being killed in one of the areas that had been designated to be a safe zone for Palestinians. But it's not only the only place that was targeted today. We can see loud plumes of smoke rise on the horizon, especially from the southern part of Gaza in the city of Khan Younis, where 2 residential houses, one of the latest Israeli strikes and attacks on the city there, killed more than 13 Palestinians, including children who were torn to pieces due to the attack that had been carried out without any sort of warning for the residents of that building. We know that clearly that the military is now operating in the eastern areas from their own perspective that has been a new command centers for the Palestinian armed groups, and they are eliminating Hamas remaining battalions there. But these areas that the military is operating in right now have been previously designated to be militarily dismantled by the Israeli army. It means that the fighting is resuming again in the vast majority of areas. As UNRWA said that 84% of Gaza's areas have been told to evacuate. It means that this endless circle of displacement continues while Israel is ongoing with its upscaling of its military strikes in the south, north, and even in the central areas right now, which are housing the vast majority of Gaza's population, who are right now experiencing and going through really very drastic humanitarian conditions.
And when you talk about those humanitarian conditions, Tareq, there is an update as well from various aid agencies talking about the fact that very little aid is actually getting into the Gaza Strip, and with that, it has a vital impact, doesn't it, on all of those Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, all looking for help and really not being able to find any.
Well, certainly that's right, Suhail. No aid is getting into the Strip. People in the north are suffering from a gradual increased rates of famine, as they are really happy in the past week because they managed to get a very limited numbers of chicken trucks that had been allowed to get into the Strip. And these chicken trucks were completely commercial, as the humanitarian agencies are complaining and scrabbling in order to allow for aid supplies to get into the Strip. We clearly understand that the operational control over Rafah and Karm Abu Salam crossing borders have great impact on the food conditions here in the Strip, as Palestinians are suffering from an acute food insecurity. The International Court of Justice has ordered Israel to mitigate the aggravating humanitarian crisis, but with its procedures right now on the ground, the situation is getting much more worse, because what we do know is that bakeries were attacked, all sources of food centers have been targeted, as Palestinians even right now are being subjected and exposing different sources of infectious diseases because of the bad quality of food arriving to the Gaza Strip, and also to the great level of the contaminated water. And we need to remind our viewers that there are still hundreds and thousands of humanitarian aid trucks are lined up on the Egyptian side of border waiting for a permission to get into the Strip. But till now, Israel's control is preventing any sort of relief to get even to be taken place or to be done for Palestinians who are right now completely depending on commercial products that are available in the Palestinian market, that with any sort of more escalation in the central areas of the Strip that might suddenly disappear, which means that people here in the central areas will be engaged in a new wave of famine that will impact on the humanitarian conditions to make it much more worse in comparison with the situation there in the north of the Strip.
Tareq Azzoum there for us in Deir el-Balah. Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.